In the small, secluded village of Windermere, nestled amidst the rolling hills and dense woodlands, lived a man named Thomas. Windermere was a place where time seemed to stand still, where traditions were held dear, and where the whispers of the past lingered like a soft breeze. Thomas was a man of quiet demeanor and profound introspection, known to the villagers as a skilled craftsman who created intricate wooden sculptures. His creations were admired far and wide, but his heart remained forever bound to the memory of a woman named Eliza. Their love story was one that the villagers spoke of in hushed tones, a tale of deep passion and heartbreaking regret. It was many years ago when Thomas first laid eyes on Eliza, a beautiful young woman with flowing auburn hair and eyes that sparkled like the morning dew. She had moved to Windermere with her family, and it wasn't long before her vivacious spirit captured the heart of the reserved craftsman. Despite their differences, they found in each other a kindred spirit, a connection that transcended words. Their courtship blossomed under the canopy of ancient trees and along the banks of the serene lake that bordered the village. They spent countless hours together, sharing dreams and secrets, and their love grew stronger with each passing day. Eliza, with her boundless curiosity and infectious laughter, brought light into Thomas's world, while Thomas's steady presence and unwavering support grounded Eliza's adventurous spirit. However, as with many love stories, fate had other plans. Eliza's family was not fond of the idea of her settling down with a humble craftsman. They had aspirations for her to marry into wealth and prestige, to secure a future far removed from the simplicity of Windermere. Despite Eliza's protests and Thomas's heartfelt pleas, the pressure from her family grew insurmountable. One fateful evening, under the twilight sky, Eliza met Thomas by the lake. Tears welled in her eyes as she handed him a letter, her hands trembling. "I don't want to leave you, Thomas, but my family, they won't listen. They have arranged a marriage for me in the city." Thomas's heart shattered as he read the letter, the words blurring through his tears. He tried to convince her to stay, to fight for their love, but Eliza's resolve was firm. "I love you more than anything in this world, but I can't defy my family. Promise me you'll remember me, Thomas. Promise me you won't forget the love we shared." With a heavy heart, Thomas made the promise, knowing that it would be a promise he could never break. They shared one last, tearful embrace before Eliza departed with her family, leaving Thomas standing by the lake, a solitary figure against the fading light. Years passed, and Windermere remained unchanged, but Thomas's life was forever altered. He poured his grief and longing into his work, creating sculptures that told the story of their love. Each piece was a testament to the depth of his emotions, capturing the essence of Eliza's laughter, her grace, and the bittersweet memories they had shared. Despite his efforts to move on, Thomas was haunted by the whispers of regret. He often wandered to the lake, hoping to catch a glimpse of her reflection in the water, to hear her voice carried by the wind. The villagers, sympathetic to his plight, spoke of him with a mixture of admiration and sorrow, recognizing the depth of his love and the weight of his loss. One autumn evening, as the leaves turned golden and the air grew crisp, Thomas found himself at the lake once more. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the water. He sat on the old, weathered bench where they had spent countless hours together, his thoughts consumed by memories of Eliza. As he sat in silence, he heard a soft whisper carried by the wind. "Thomas." Startled, he looked around, but there was no one in sight. The whisper came again, more distinct this time, and he realized it was Eliza's voice. His heart raced as he followed the sound, leading him to a grove of ancient trees at the edge of the lake. There, in the golden light of the setting sun, stood a figure cloaked in shadow. As Thomas approached, the figure became clearer, and he saw Eliza standing before him, just as he remembered her. Her eyes sparkled with the same warmth, and her smile was as radiant as ever. "Eliza," he whispered, his voice trembling with emotion. "Is it really you?" She nodded, her expression tinged with sadness. "Yes, Thomas. I've come to fulfill the promise you made to me all those years ago. Our love has transcended time and space, and I've never forgotten you." Tears streamed down Thomas's face as he reached out to touch her, but his hand passed through her like mist. "I've missed you so much, Eliza. Every day, I've longed to see you, to hold you once more." Eliza's gaze softened, and she placed a gentle hand over his heart. "I know, Thomas. And I've felt your longing, your pain. But you must find peace within yourself. Our love will always be a part of you, but you cannot let it consume you." Thomas struggled to find the words, his heart heavy with unspoken emotions. "How can I move on, Eliza? How can I live without you?" Eliza's form began to fade, her voice growing fainter. "You must find joy in the memories we shared and continue to live your life. Know that my love will always be with you, guiding you through the whispers of the wind." With those final words, Eliza disappeared, leaving Thomas alone in the grove. The wind whispered around him, carrying her voice as a gentle reminder of their love. Determined to honor her wish, Thomas returned to his workshop with a renewed sense of purpose. He began to create a new series of sculptures, each one inspired by the moments of joy and love they had shared. As he worked, he felt Eliza's presence, guiding his hands and filling his heart with warmth. Over time, Thomas found solace in his work and the beauty of the world around him. He still visited the lake, but now he did so with a sense of peace, knowing that Eliza's spirit was always with him. The villagers noticed the change in him, and they too found inspiration in his resilience and dedication to love. Years later, Thomas's sculptures had become renowned, not just for their craftsmanship, but for the love and emotion they conveyed. People from far and wide came to Windermere to see his work, to hear the story of Thomas and Eliza, and to feel the whispers of their love in the wind. As he grew older, Thomas continued to create, his heart forever bound to the memory of Eliza. On his final day, he sat by the lake, the whispers of the wind carrying her voice one last time. With a contented smile, he closed his eyes, knowing that their love had endured beyond the boundaries of life and death. In Windermere, the story of Thomas and Eliza became a cherished legend, a reminder of the power of love and the bittersweet beauty of regret. And on quiet evenings, when the wind whispered through the trees, the villagers would pause and listen, knowing that the echoes of their love lived on, carried by the gentle breeze.